Who do you think has been the biggest surprise in the NFL within the first month of the season?
We just talked about them last segment. Dude, the Cincinnati Bengals are 3-1. Are you kidding me? We thought the second this season started, Joe Burrow would be knocked out of the game all over again, or they would be one of the worst teams in the league. And they're one of the best teams in the AFC. I mean, they have the same record as the Buffalo Bills, for God's sakes. Like, this speaks a lot of volume to a team that has not been able to protect their franchise quarterback. People made the argument, including myself, and the point that not drafting the offensive lineman out of Oregon, instead taking Jamar Chase, was probably going to be the biggest mistake of the Cincinnati Bengals' existence, because this could turn into Joe Burrow getting knocked out of the game, if not getting knocked out for the season once again. But the connection between Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow has been unstoppable. I mean, obviously Tyler Boyd is still the number one target, and T. Higgins, when he gets back from his injury, that's a three-headed monster in the receiving room. And then obviously CJ Uzma, I always forget how to pronounce his name, but
It's
he's
like
come out of
Uzuma. It's like Uzuma or something.
he's come out of his shell, and he has like 3 or 4 touchdowns on the season already. I mean, I know he scored two against Jacksonville, and that doesn't really speak much volume, but overall, I mean, Joe Mixon's playing good. The defense is playing solid, and again, this is going to be the biggest test of the season for the Bengals. But for sure, at this very moment in the year, this is going to be for sure for me the biggest surprise of the year, because I definitely didn't see this coming.
I'm gonna kick it over to the NFC, and I literally can't believe I'm uttering this out of my mouth here. I gotta go with the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have been outright phenomenal this year. I mean, outside of that Week 1 game, they've been great. Dak Prescott, coming off of that gruesome leg injury that he had last year, honestly looks better than he did before the injury. And he's been efficient while throwing the ball. He hasn't turned the ball over on a consistent basis. And not only is Dallas getting good production from Dak, they are getting phenomenal production from the run game. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott looks like he is reinvigorated, to kind of put a term on it. And you have Pollard right behind him, kind of forming a thunder lightning combo. Like, these dudes are on another level. And the biggest unsung hero of Dallas's offense is probably their offensive line, because they could just sit there, protect Dak, and not only that, they could open up run lanes for Zeke and Tony Pollard. So when I look at the offense, they're humming on all cylinders. They are putting up at least 25, 30 points consistently. And then you kick it to the defense. Even though that the defense has been giving up a lot of passing yards, I think they're like second worst in the league when it comes to allowing passing yards, they are turning the ball over. Trayvon Diggs, within the first 4 weeks of the season, has 5 interceptions already. He is on pace to probably get double-digit interceptions. And they are getting pressure on quarterbacks. When they faced Brady in the first week, they were able to get 2 or 3 sacks. Last week, against the Carolina Panthers, they were able to get pressure. I believe they got like 5 sacks against Sam Darnold in that offense in Carolina, and Carolina was coming into that game undefeated at 3-0. So Dallas has got off to a very hot start. They look like they are clearly the best team in the NFC East at this point, and it's a far cry from what they were last year. And I think it could be said that Dallas is not only one of the best teams in the NFC, but they are currently, in my opinion, a top 10, arguably a top 5 team in the NFL. And it's really due to what not only the offense has been able to produce, but the defense, which has been shaky to say the least. They're able to get turnovers, and they're giving the ball back to Dak, and they're getting points in the process. And Dallas has just been sensational, so I got to give it up to them. They've earned it, and they are my biggest surprise through the first month of the NFL season so far.